May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength, my Redeemer, my Sustainer. Amen. Did you feel the breath of God on your cheek this morning as you stepped outside? It was a hot breeze, perhaps, a hot touch. Did you hear the whisper of the Spirit moving through the trees? Yes, it's Pentecost, and today I'm talking about the Spirit of God, the advocate, the friend, the sustainer. First, let me be clear about my opening questions. No, the breeze isn't God, and God isn't the breeze, but God is in the breeze, in the touch on your cheek. God is in the rustle of leaves moving through the trees, in the glistening grace of dew in the morning sun on wet grass, in the smells of freshness after rain, in the taste of fresh snow on our lips. Our psalm shouts with joy this morning, acknowledging God's manifold works. The psalm senses the deep mystery of an interconnected creation. A poem from ancient times affirming what scientists in our postmodern age have claimed. We are within a mystery of interconnected life, a web of a singular being. The psalmist tries to give words to how blessed is this creation, flowing with life and beyond human comprehension. The psalmist says, when you send forth your Spirit, all is created. All creation look to you to give them their food in due season. When you opened your hand, they are filled with good things. When you hide your face, they are dismayed. When you take away their breath, they die and return to the dust. The breath of God is creation. These words apply to humans as well as to all else in creation. We are an undeniable part of that creation. As the psalmist says with great joy, "Bless the Lord, O my soul." Pentecost reminds us how important the breath of God is, how this Spirit of God first stirred the waters of chaos at creation. Pentecost is another time when the Spirit of God is stirring the waters. Jesus fulfills his promise to his followers by giving them the Spirit of God and sending them forth to fulfill the mission of God in this world. Today's readings provide two very different versions of how the Spirit is given. Luke's narrative in Acts sets a visual scene. You can see it in your imagination, and describes a moment full of power and potency. We aren't to mistake this moment for just any moment. Luke presents us with a theophany. That is, Luke describes the God self, breaking into human place and time. He says, "And suddenly from heaven there came a sound like the rush of a violent wind, and it filled the entire house." Something portentous and beyond human understanding is happening. As divided tongues as of fire appeared among them, and a tongue rested on each of them, all of them were filled with the Holy Spirit. In the Gospel of John, the Spirit is a bit quieter. more intimate, more personal. Jesus simply appears among those assembled and says, "Peace be with you." Christ then breathes into them and says, "Receive the Holy Spirit. As the Father sent me, so I send you." The quietness of John's description is more similar to an awakening of consciousness, awakening to a purpose given by God. Those gathered in John's gospel are becoming something other than what they had been before. However, we should not discount that the risen and ascended Christ has appeared among them in a place with locked doors. This may be a quieter manifestation, but it is a manifestation of God. A manifestation of God in human time and place, just as mysterious as the theophany described by Luke. God's power is absolute. God can break into time and human history in whatever way God chooses. Some of them get more attention than others. But no matter how the Spirit arrives, quietly or with fanfare, human lives are fundamentally changed. Humans exist because of God's very breath. John's Gospel calls to mind the creation story in Genesis 2, where we are told that God formed mankind from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. According to the theologian, Professor Carolyn Lewis, John's description of Pentecost heightens the sense of intimacy with God. God's breath resides within us. How astounding that is. God's breath is poured into us, so we are overflowing with the Spirit. We exist and have a purpose for being because of God's breath within us. At Pentecost, the followers of Jesus are affirmed as people who are containing and expounding the Spirit of God. Pentecost, however, isn't only about the outpouring of the Spirit. It actually has kind of a threefold purpose. It is, of course, joy, because Pentecost is the fulfillment of the promise made by Jesus to his followers to send an advocate to help them when he is gone. And finally, Pentecost is about continuing the mission of Jesus in a troubled world. Sending in joy is a central part of Pentecost. Jesus' followers are fortified by the Spirit to proclaim the good news Jesus brought into the world. In the reading from Acts immediately after the Spirit is given, the disciples begin to speak in other languages. This is the gift provided by the Spirit. It's a reversal of the Tower of Babel story. If you remember, in that story, different languages caused divisions among people. In the story told in Acts, the Spirit enables the Word of God to be heard and understood in multiple languages. The Spirit is the unifying force that holds these diverse people together as one body. In the reading from Corinthians, Paul reminds the community in Corinth that the gifts bestowed by the Spirit are all important for the survival of the community and needed to spread God's word to others. No one gift can stand alone or be more important than another. The Corinthians were arguing about whose gift was better. Used alone for human purposes, the gifts become dust. Each gift must be used only for the common good. That's such an old-fashioned way of understanding things, isn't it? The gift supports the unity of the community and its ability to carry on the work of Jesus within the world. One final thought on the meaning of Pentecost. God's world is not bound by time and place. We are not remembering and commemorating the arrival of the Spirit in 33 of the Common Era. The day of Pentecost is a once-a-year celebration that the Spirit is always with us. The Spirit, the advocate, the friend, is given to those of us who are followers of Jesus for the purpose of transforming us into becoming the way of love, to be a pathway to God. My prayer today is a Celtic blessing written by the Iona community. God has called us to journey through wilderness places. And so, as Jesus did before us, we will set out once more, renewed by the sacrament of bread and wine, to wander in uncomfortable landscapes and wrestle with those challenges. And that through the renewal of the Spirit, we may emerge ready to do the work of God's kingdom in this our earthly home.